Okay. Hi, my name is Aisha, and I've had a channel for a while, but up until recently, I felt really led to start a family channel or vlog or whatever you call it about my family, my love life with my now husband, and our future family. Um, we got married this past November, and November 2018. We are expecting our first child, and we will be meeting our baby this August. We all have August birthdays, so that will be interesting. Um, I met my best friend and now husband back, I would say, over 11 years ago now. We met at a church, and we were just best friends. He was the only guy I could say that never really treated me inappropriately. Not that other guys did, but he wasn't awkward in his interactions with me in the sense that he wanted anything more than a friendship. I don't even think he was attracted to me at first, and so I know he wasn't, as I found out when we were engaged, which I think is cute and perfect. And so I considered him my best friend, mainly because I respected him not viewing me with ulterior motives, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try to make this short, but we were best friends for a while, and the Lord began to awaken feelings in me after he actually showed me that he would be a good father. And I won't go into details of the story, but basically there was someone in the church at the time, and he was a father and a husband, and he did something really sweet for his daughters and for his wife, and I was over there helping them prepare for something, and I felt like the question that came to my mind was, who do you know that's like that? And then all I could think of was this guy who was just my best friend and nothing more, even after that thought. And I was like, oh, he's gonna make a good father one day. And I was washing dishes for my friend at the time, so I just kept washing dishes and popped it out of my mind. Well, I would say probably about 5 years ago is when I started having feelings for him. The Lord closed the door on something that I had thought was his will, and then awakened feelings for this guy who had just been my best friend for so long. And I fought those feelings a lot, and I submitted them to the Lord so much. I got attacked with just thoughts of just that were totally not from the Lord, attacking my identity in Christ. And I fought them, and in Christ, of course. But apparently, God had stirred up feelings in his heart as well, eventually, though mine were first. I had always been afraid that maybe he knew that I had feelings for him, and then he caught feelings because I had feelings. And it wasn't until we were engaged that we felt open enough to talk about just more personal, emotional ties. We didn't want to stir up anything before it was time. Obviously, we had been courting, but I never knew if he was going to be my husband until the moment we said I do. And I wanted to honor his future wife in all that I did, and he wanted to honor my future husband, I'm sure. Even though he knew I was his wife, the Lord told him that I was going to be his wife, and he pursued me endlessly and recklessly. I don't know if that word makes sense to you, but he pursued me. And of course, like, I was fond of that. I loved that. I just had so much fears in my heart from past heartache and hurts that I had from growing up, and just my heart had been trampled on by so many guys. And Anyway, that's mainly one of the reasons why we knew we wanted to do things differently. We wanted our love story to be an example to others of this is what it could be and this is what it could look like. And we had our convictions because of that. Excuse me. And one of those convictions was we didn't hold hands until we were engaged. For him, I was one of the first women outside of his family that he gave a frontal hug to. And I don't know that we did that until we were engaged, but I could be wrong. He wanted that to be special between him and the woman who he knew would be his wife. He had growing up, always, it's a kid thing, but it was cute. He had always growing up felt like drinking or eating off of someone or after someone was reminiscent of like kissing, because you're swapping spit, sharing saliva. And so we didn't actually eat or drink off of each other until communion as husband and wife on our wedding day. And that was something, I'm getting emotional, it was something that was very special to me, that we waited on that. And I don't mind that, but he did, and I wanted to honor that for him. And he is such a good guy, and I guess I want to speak to the heartache that was once there. If you're single and you're waiting on the Lord's timing, or you're not and you're wanting to rush into something, I would caution you, wait on the Lord's timing, because it is so good and it's so pleasant. And yes, it's painful. It's painful to, wait. Like if it's wintertime and you're waiting for spring to come, it can be kind of like there's an angst, like there's this thing, maybe anxiety, maybe not anxiety, but anxiousness, that's the right word. And you're like, well, when is this going to come? When is this going to come? And a certain age may pass that you're thinking, well, I thought I was going to get married here. And then you're here and you're still not married, you're single. And that honors him, the Lord, so much when you wait on him and wait on his timing. And I just remember it being our wedding night. And I just remember thinking, the devil is such a liar. Like, I have a past. Before I came to know the Lord, I was, how do I say this? I had relationships with men that did not honor the Lord before marriage, and I repented of them, and God has set me free, and I am pure now, and etc., etc. And he set standards before me that are in the Word, and just things that aren't in the Word that were just personal convictions, like I shared, holding hands. We had our first kiss at the altar. For him, it was hugging or eating after each other. And we had other convictions. And if you guys want and you have questions, go ahead and ask me at the bottom. Or if you want a more in detail or in-depth video, I can try to do that as well. But I would say wait. There is nothing more beautiful. The timing was right. The love story was right. I fought it for so long, and the Lord, just as I sought the Lord and devoted these feelings that I had for this man who was in my life to the Lord. I said, God, I don't want to have these feelings if he's not my husband. And I'm sure others of you have been there, and maybe you haven't. Maybe you're young and you've never had a crush before, or maybe you're older and you're married, or you're single, but maybe you married your high school sweetheart. I don't know. Wherever you're at, just know there is pain, but joy comes in the morning. And my love story is not at all devoid of any type of pain. It has seen it all, unfortunately. But God has taken what the locusts have eaten, and he has made good. He has brought beauty from ashes, and we're having a baby. And I've been praying about doing this channel for a while, not like in depth or furiously, but I've kind of been considering it as I've been on YouTube and just watching people's videos, and here I am. And if you guys want to know more, it's longer than I'd wanted it to be, but really quick. We're going to go on our baby moon this week, and I'm ecstatic. I'm 24 weeks and 5 days pregnant. We had our first kiss at the altar, like I mentioned before. So technically, the way that they break down starting your counting for your pregnancy, technically a honeymoon baby. We're actually visiting one of the places. We honeymooned at 2 locations. We're going back to one of the places stateside that we honeymooned at for our baby moon. And I'm hoping I'm making sense and that I'm not rambling, and I hope that if you enjoy my channel that you'll stay and watch more. I've been wanting to do this a lot more for just my pregnancy, but as I've waited and prayed, I think it's going to be more of a family thing. And I know I didn't really get into our love story in depth, but I hope that I at least piqued your interest, quenched your thirst, and I hope you're interested in staying. I'll be praying for you guys as you guys subscribe to my channel, and I hope that we can be a family together. I love you guys.